Yeah, okay, I think it's time to start. So welcome you all to this session. My name is Csaba Berecki from Lean Enterprise Institute, Hungary. I'll be the host of this session, and Agnes Antal is with me. She's our colleague. She's just recently joined, but what we share with you is the understanding of a leadership development and the role of the leader in the transformation of a company, a team. So just listen and then ask your question. The chat is live. Please comment and drop your questions. Enjoy. Agnes, the stage is yours.
Hello, everyone. I'm Agnes Antal, and I would like to tell you about our story, how we cope to manage with a very turbulent situation and how we managed to come out of it successfully. What was our journey there? Let me share my screen. Csaba, látszik a képernyőm? Sorry, do you see my screen? Yes, sorry.
It's on the way.
Okay. Sorry, I had some technical issues. Yes, so let's start by saying a few words about the company, which was already a past for me, because after 19 years, I felt that I needed some new challenges. And some months ago, I left this company where I had been general manager for 13 years as well. So let's start. So the background of this story, we are speaking about a 75-strong company with just 20 years of experience, with a multinational background. So it's a Hungarian subsidiary of a multinational company, far away enough to have autonomy, but with a background of a multi. The main profile is spare parts logistics, and is operating as a regional distribution center, delivering 4 countries, namely Austria, Hungary, Czech Republic, and Slovakia. It operates on 17,500 square meters, and it's dealing with 50,000 different type of stock materials. So it's a highly complex activity. That's why it's quite important that the average length of the service in the company of the people is over 10 years. It means that the colleagues are very experienced. The last 4 years have been characterized by a constantly changing and unpredictable environment, which was in sharp contrast with the 15 previous years, where everything was quite stable and predictable. It started when the company was forced to downsize in the first time of its history due to changing market environment. And this was quite a big trauma for the organization and caused a lot of disruptions for the colleagues. After it came COVID, I will not go very much in details because I think we were not the only company who faced big problems because of that. But thanks to our stable background, we could afford us not to lay off workers, but to pay a bit less for less work. And after the 2 upcoming years, 2021 and 2022 were also quite turbulent due to various market effects. And shortly before the COVID epidemic, I went to a training course organized by Lean Enterprise Institute Hungary, namely on the LPP Lean Practitioner Program, the official name of it. And I was looking for impulses and development paths because the company had its own lean tools and lean system, but I still felt that we were floundering on the same place. And this course brought a complete change in my approach of problem solving. The essence of this new approach was that on our problem solving process, I don't know, I will try to bring this here. We looked for the root causes and tried to solve them instead of scratching only the surfaces. And this meant a systemic investigation in which we did a lot of measuring, documenting, and experimenting. And this was a milestone for me and therefore for the company as well, which was decisive for our way forward. During the COVID, we used the lost working time to make internal process improvements. We looked at processes that we had neither time nor the will to do before, and we started to map the root causes. The new methodology was different, but was more effective and sustainable in the long term. We concentrated much more on the facts instead of assumption, and we spent much more time on the floor doing observations, measurement, and experiments where things were really happening instead of endless meetings in the meeting room. I assume you also know this kind of situation when we have endless mouse karate in the meeting room quite far from the Gemba. And this was exactly what we were doing as well. And we had to change. As part of this course with the Lean Enterprise Institute, I also had to lead an A3 project. And I choose the shipping area, the rethinking of the shipping area as problem, and more precisely to reduce the transport cost, which was very linked to the volume delivered. So we had to analyze the utilization rate of the shipping units. I went down to the Gemba, which was not the case before, and I was drawing a lot of spaghetti diagrams and measuring cycle times, asking questions, and so on. And we found out, based on all these observations, then there was a lot of waste of motion, and also rework with the shipping units. So we could see that there were layout with the problems with the layout and the prepared containers. I show you also my A3, which I guess is not very usual, but it was mine, and it was my first A3 project. You could see here that I was my my first spaghetti diagram after I had my other diagram after the reorganization of the layout, my Ishikawa analyze and countermeasures after also if they were okay or not. And this was very important for my learning journey as a manager, how we really have to do this problem solving. Here just to show you very quickly, without going in details, that only by observing and going there to the Gemba, how big changes we did with the layout. And finally, as a result, we could decrease the time spent with the delivery preparation by more than 17.5%. And we could increase the utilization rate of the delivery units quite impressively. Later on, I also regularly went down to the workflow to do observation, and it was also surprising how much the reality differs from the imagined or want-to-be situation. At the same time, I had to be careful not to make decision based on authority, because you know that finally the boss is always right. So I needed to make feel my colleagues that they also were part of all this development and changes. So I tried to involve them in the developments and show them the result, ask for questions. We also organized some tissue cans for the picking on the small area, and this gave the opportunity to involve these operators, and the result achieved in a very short time, in 3 days, it was also convincing them, and this helped us also to encourage them to believe that they really have influence on what's happening. Our next big project was to reorganize the in-bin, the sorting area. Here, the problem to solve was to improve the on-time in-bin, with the goal to have everything in stock to be able to serve our clients. So we had to reduce the cycle time, and we did exactly the same with the other projects, that we were doing a lot of observations and measuring and beyond the Gamba. And we could see that the sorting in batches caused a lot of waiting time, and there were also problems with the layout, which caused a lot of waste in motion. So here you can see also a big change in the layout, which finally, due to the really out of the box idea, was very important. So from this we came to this. So it's a very different layout, with much more space and also much more visible. And finally, as a result, we could gain 3 hours in the process lead time for sorting and in-bin together. We could gain 1.5 hours every day with this operation, and we also could reduce by approximately 30% the working distance of the people working there, and only by improving actually the continuous flow. Yes, so in the meantime, I also have begun to realize that beside the processes, it's very important to develop people. So I sent some key person from the team also to the same course, because we really had to have the right mentality, because without that we cannot move forward. We also gave place to some external events, I mean Gamba Days, or to this Lean Practitioner program course. And on this project, we also involved the operators. So this was a good opportunity to involve them, and on participating, that slowly began to change their mind, the attitude as well. And it was also very good for us that it created opportunity to receive valuable remarks from external eyes, and also trained us to listen to these remarks and accept constructive observation. it learned us how to take comments and questions as a challenge and not as a criticism. And I have to tell you that it was not always easy. So at the beginning, we always gave answers and explanation why it is like this, because of course we were the best to know how we have to work. But after a while, we understood that it's much better just to listen and think about and take what we really think valuable and important for us. And there was a lot of very good ideas what we could use after. So slowly we created an environment where it was normal not to hide problem, but to put them on the table. And the PDCA became part of our everyday. And you have to know that it was not a miracle before you begin to think that, because it took many years for us to achieve this situation. And also for me, it was a long, tiring journey to accept all this and to arrive on this stage. I have to understand that it was useless to run ahead while the others were even not around the bend. So I had to slow down. I had to be more patient, and at the same time, my team had to accelerate a bit. And finally, we could reduce the frustration and on both sides, and we could feel the one boat effect. I also moved in more and more in a coach-like operation, where I was much more focused on personal development, and I spent more and more time on personal discussions. And the aim of this was mainly to reinforce or to give feedback and leadership development, because I knew that the real lean transformation cannot be successful without spending energy in developing skills of the people beside the processes. And all these various internal improvements brought a lot of change in the organization, which was not always easy for the colleagues. Even at one moment they got fed up with it, and we had to slow down. But it started to change their mindset and their operation, and they became hardened to change, which later proved very useful. And just when everything started to look good, another slap in the face came, because due to another change in the environment out of our influence, we had to change completely one part of our activity. The most difficult part of this was that the decision was taken in December, and we had to start the delivery in March. So we had only 3 months for that. And although the operation was the same, we had to do everything completely differently. So we had to invent new stocks, we had to set up new locations, we had to implement a brand new warehouse management system, and we had to find out also some new processes. So it was really quite difficult. But this was the moment where it came out that how mature the team became in the last years. So we set up very quickly a project team where we included all the key persons from the operation, and we met every day at 9 o'clock in the warehouse managers meeting room, where we were speaking about the where are the things going, and we used our post-its. It shortened a lot the reaction time in decision making, that I was always available. So physically, Also, I was on the shop floor. And the main difficulty, I think it was that the people had to work differently in comparison to the previous 10 and 15 years. We had also to spend a lot of time on trainings, and not only to give them work instructions, but to give opportunity for two-way dialogues where they could share with us the problems they encountered, and also share with us their development ideas, because they had quite a lot, and we could implement them as well. So to sum up, the delivery finally went smoothly, and the first truck rolled out of the site on time. We had the system up and running in 3 months. And I don't know if you have ever met structural change in your company, or a change of a service provider, because I have had. And the changeover gone wrong can cripple a system for months. So I was particularly proud of my team that they could solve this situation so well. And also our clients were absolutely happy with our performance. Of course, it took after some months until we stabilized the operation, and also the people get used, but we didn't have any big problem later on. I'm sure many of you have heard about the change curve of Kubler-Ross. This curve is a short summary of how people react, how we behave, feel, and respond to change. This can be a loss of a person or a job, but we are speaking about any kind of change. Change brings with it the sense of loss. Disruption of routine creates fear, and colleagues are pushed out of their comfort zone. And there are several phases in this curve, and the different phases needs different type of manager, different leadership skills. As a result of these many turbulent years, the curve in our company flattened. And this was mostly manifested in the fact that the resistance, the rejection phase, the denial was shorter and more flattened. I also could realize on myself, actually, that after a very short hysteria, I moved quite quickly in the let's do and solve phase. And why I'm bringing it here? Because I'm sure that many of you have heard about and you know about this curve, but yet we forget about this curve. And I think it is key, especially in turbulent situation, that you be aware where your team and the individuals are on this curve. So are they still in denial phase or already in the experimentation phase? And for manager, it really matters how quickly we can recognize this and help our team to go through these different phases. It can be crucial for the success of our project or our company. And it can also help you to understand sometimes when you have difficulties to understand why your people or team react as they react. So I really encourage you to be aware of this curve. And finally, let me summarize the 7 secrets of our success, what I think it was the key of our success. Select the right people and development. and develop them. Be present in every sense, physically and also, yeah, in every sense. Gemba and more Gemba. Please go and see. Understand what the real problem is and don't only scratch the surface. Everything can be questioned. Realize that everything can be questioned. Be flexible and patient with situation, with the people and situation, and never give up to believe that this is the right way. That was for me. Thank you for your attention. And please, if you have some questions.
Yeah, we have some minutes. So if you would like to ask a question to Agnes, just feel free. You can do it just by raising your hands, dropping into the chat, or dropping into the Q&A. And here we are. Zoltan is just asking, have there been any lean activities before you, or did you introduce this mindset to the company?
There had been something. Was, as I said, the company also had his lean system and some tools, but it was quite tool focused. So I think that yes, I brought in a new mindset, but lean activity existed before as well, but on a different way. That's why I was not successful enough.
Yeah, thank you. Any more question? Just raise your hands. Okay. So here we are. Time's up. We have only two minutes. Just my question would be, it's a very short. Just seeing it from the leadership perspective, what was your biggest learning during this journey? Just sum it up.
We have to really be close to the Gemba. So it's not possible to solve anything from the meeting room. We have to be there, very near where things are happening, and to the people who are doing the work. And we have to go down until the root cause, because if we only scratch the surface, we will never be able to solve the issue for once.
Okay. Thank you, Agnes, for your presentation. I think this will be a very good closing sentence. Let's go and see and spend your time on Gemba as much as possible and enjoy your lean journey. Bye-bye.
Bye.